This is Wednesday the 7th of April, and these are my new packages of Italian bees, which I just received yesterday evening. They come in these boxes of roughly 3 pounds of bees in each box, probably 4 or 5,000. The thing about packages that's unusual is, although they have a queen, the bees in the packages are not related to the queen. So the queen is reared separately and is in a little cage in with the other bees, the worker bees, which would not necessarily accept her until they get used to her, and that's by getting used to a scent that she gives off. So she's in a separate cage to basically protect her from them for a few days while they're getting used to her scent. In the case of a nuke, which is another form of getting a colony of bees, the difference is that the bees are the daughters of the queen, so they actually are her offspring, and they already accept her. So she's in with them loose, and it's some people think that the nukes are stronger and more likely to succeed because they're all the same family. I haven't found that to be the case. I've had equally horrible success with nukes and packages. They basically always die every year. And this is primarily because of a mite called the Varroa mite that carries a disease that kills the vast majority of colonies as they go into the winter. So I'm always in the position, or almost always, of buying 2 new colonies every spring. And so here I am with my 2 new packages, and these are about $125 a piece. A nuke would be something like $165 a piece. So if they're all going to die, I might as well save myself $40 a colony. A little bit dark and cynical, but after 8 years of doing this, that's kind of where I am with this. So what I'm going to do next is open up each of these packages and deposit them into their hives. And right now the hives are just 1 box deep. It's just for a day or so to help them get oriented. And I'm very lucky to have some wonderful, beautiful drawn comb from my last season, courtesy of my previous colonies. And some of this had honey in it that I harvested, and some of it was for brood. But in either case, they're now wonderful drawn comb that's ready to accept these new colonies. And the reason drawn comb is just so incredibly valuable is because it represents a huge savings in time and energy for the bees. Instead of having to spend time secreting wax and producing comb on brand new frames, they already have that done, so they can focus their time and energy on going out and pollinating flowers and plants, and of course bringing back nectar, which becomes honey. And also that gives me a greater likelihood of having a successful harvest this summer. So I'll put them in, and I might try to capture that on video, and then I'm going to give them a day to get used to and oriented in their new homes, and then I'm going to possibly add another box for them to expand into. The bees, obviously, the queen bee continues laying eggs. She lays, I think, about up to 1,500 eggs a day, which is just a staggering amount. And so the colonies really explode in the spring. And the beekeeper is responsible for staying on top of that and increasing their real estate so that they feel like they have enough space to expand into. If the bees ever think that they don't have enough space or their home is otherwise inadequate, they will swarm, and a swarm is nothing more than a colony that's leaving an existing place in search of a new one. So a swarm is a transient status, but we see it as a giant cloud of bees or a cluster of bees hanging on the branch of a tree. And that's what's happening. Swarms are really biologically a wonderful sign, because it's a colony doing so well that they've outgrown their existing home and they're looking for a better one. And that's, biologically speaking, a sign of wonderful success. But for a beekeeper, of course, a swarm is economically disastrous because you lose the colony that you just purchased. So anyway, that's a little bit about it. And let me get busy putting my first colony into its hive, and hopefully we'll be back in a minute.